What if the ancient world was more crowded, advanced, and terrifying than history books dare to say? We picture the pre-flood era as a few farmers and shepherds. But what if the math tells a completely different story? A story of a planet teeming with people. Today, we're uncovering the unbelievable scale of the pre-flood world. This isn't mythical exaggeration. It's biological fact rooted in a perfect origin. Genesis presents Adam and Eve as direct creations of God, with bodies free from the genetic entropy, viral load, and accumulated mutations that plague us today. Their original DNA was pristine. This genetic capital was so robust that it took over 1,600 years of accumulating the effects of sin and a corrupted environment for human lifespans to dramatically collapse post-flood. These ages, like Methuselah's 969 years, are recorded as straightforward genealogy, not legend. It points to a world where cellular degeneration was incredibly slow, disease was minimal, and the human body operated at a capacity we can scarcely imagine. Forget our model where generations replace each other every 70 years. In the pre-flood world, they accumulated. A man could feasibly know his 10th generation grandson personally. This created an unprecedented social fabric. Knowledge transfer wasn't through fragmented stories or lost scrolls. It was direct, experiential teaching spanning centuries. A master architect could oversee a project for 300 years, training dozens of successive apprentices from his own lineage. This continuity meant skills and wisdom didn't just get passed down, they compounded and refined across lifetimes, eliminating the dark ages and technological resets that characterize human history after Babel. Modern readers, picturing a simple agrarian society, might guess thousands, maybe a few million. This question is the key that unlocks the true nature of that world. We're not counting nomadic tribes, but a full-fledged, globe-spanning civilization. The Bible's silence on a specific census is not an admission of small numbers. It's an invitation to use the data it does give us, lifespans, reproduction timelines, and the chronological framework, to calculate the staggering potential. Genesis 5 is more than a list of names. It's a calibrated timeline. From Adam's creation to Noah's 600th year, the flood's start, is 1,656 years. That's a vast expanse of time, longer than from the fall of Rome to the present day. Furthermore, verses like Genesis 5:4, and he, Adam, begat sons and daughters, are critical. These brief notes reveal that the listed patriarchs are just the tip of the genealogical iceberg. For every famous name like Seth or Enoch, there were countless other unnamed sons and daughters, each starting their own multiplying family lines. The biblical record is a focused lineage leading to Christ, not a comprehensive population log. Age of childbearing begins at 65, far later than likely, given early patriarchs like Enoch having children at 65. Each couple has only 6 children, over a 100-year fertility window. Extremely conservative, given 900-year lifespans. Apply a modest death rate factor for violence-such accidents. Even with these low estimates, simple exponential math shows the population doesn't grow linearly. It explodes. Within 10 generations, you move from 2 people to numbers in the tens of millions. By the time of Noah, after 16 plus centuries, The math easily supports a global population in the billions. Let's ground the theory. If growth was even a fraction of the conservative model's potential, the pre-flood population would have dwarfed the Roman Empire at its height. It could have matched or exceeded today's population density. This isn't wild speculation. It's the logical outcome of the biblical parameters. The earth, described as being watered by a mist, Genesis 2:6, and lacking major climatic extremes, would have had a far greater carrying capacity. Entire continents could have been settled, with advanced hubs of civilization we've never discovered, because they were utterly destroyed and buried under miles of sediment. This verse is the Bible's own summary of the era's scale. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. The Hebrew word for multiply, rabbah, implies a vigorous, abundant, and widespread increase. It's the same word used for God's command to fill the earth. The phrase "on the face of the earth" indicates a global, not regional phenomenon. This is the inspired author telling us directly. The world was filling up. It was crowded, bustling, and interconnected. Therefore, Noah did not build the ark in a quiet field visited by curious villagers. He built it in a world pulsating with life, industry, and likely skepticism. The crowds who mocked him weren't just a few neighbors. They could have been masses of people from a sophisticated culture that saw his project as the act of a madman. The flood's judgment was not on a small, backward tribe, but on a vast, advanced, and utterly rebellious global civilization. This changes everything about how we read the story and understand the weight of God's judgment. The world Noah entered wasn't a quiet pasture. It was likely a crowded, complex, and deeply corrupted civilization. If these numbers shocked you, you're not alone. But this is only half the story. A massive population requires a world capable of supporting it. In Part 2, we'll reveal the shocking environmental secrets of the antediluvian planet, the perfect conditions that made this all possible, and why God had to wipe it all away. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.